is hardly capable of protecting anyone in the event of a real-life threat. The fighter itself will become the center of the NGAD system, while its other aspects will come in the form of drones set to accompany the new generation device. These will most likely be able to not only carry additional ammunition, but also perform other strategic tasks. Given that it will significantly expand the operational capabilities of the Pacific Theater of Operations, thus increasing the effective range and payload for the current USAF forces, the program is developing in several areas at once. An aircraft with a long range and payload for operations in the Indo-Pacific region, a vehicle set to operate over shorter distances between potential combat areas in the European scope of things. The fact that the 6th-generation fighter project exists in principle was enough to attract a considerable amount of attention to it, both from aviation fans and military experts from different countries. When the media asked John Gumbleton, Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Navy for Budget, how much had been allocated for the 2022 6th-generation platform, he declined to comment. But his colleague, Assistant Secretary of the Air Force for Acquisition Technology and Logistics, Will Roper, announced back in September 2020 that the testing of a full-scale NGAD flight demonstrator had gone successfully. However, he refused to provide more detail about where and when the first flight took place, as well as which contractors had made it. Nothing was said either regarding any of the future fighter's design features. Even more conjecture arose due to the fact that, according to Roper, the new prototype not only broke many existing records, but is also something, quote, truly magical. Some have even suggested that NGAD could open the door to new contractors like Elon Musk's SpaceX. Given the billionaire's fantasy, it's hard to imagine how much innovation he and his team would want to shove into the future competitor of the F-35. Given that over the past 50 years, the U.S. industrial base has shrunk from 10 manufacturers to 3 defense companies, Lockheed Martin, Boeing, and Northrop Grumman, it's likely that the Air Force would really benefit from having a fresh mind on the team. NGAD is truly capable of shaking up the U.S. defense industry. If the Air Force moves to buying 6th-generation fighters in the foreseeable future, they are guaranteed to become serious competitors for the F-35 and F-15EX programs, which could subsequently put their existence in jeopardy. A critical moment for the Air Force is when the life of an aircraft reaches 15 years, since at this age its maintenance becomes noticeably more expensive, climbing in price from 3 to 7% every year. But what if, instead of maintaining old aircraft, the Air Force would use these funds to purchase new ones? Roper's Digital Century Series model suggests that both advanced manufacturing and software development technologies will allow the Air Force to develop new aircraft at a much faster rate and acquire new aircraft more frequently. It would be as if they bought 6 fighter jets in the 1950s from 6 different companies only a couple of years apart. The idea interested representatives of the U.S. Air Force, and in August of 2020, the Department of Advanced Aviation Programs of the Air Force analyzed Digital Century Series viability. As it turns out, the use of digital manufacturing and development methods from both the T-7 program and the development of the NGAD prototype will help reduce the total life cycle cost of a new generation fighter by approximately 10% over 30 years as compared to its predecessors, the F-35 and F-15. For the same cost